Welcome to Strong Personalities. This is Yanni Bear bringing you the big personalities behind all the big muscle and strongman. Today, I have Johnny Alimo. Did I get that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, you did.
So, thank you again for jumping on here. I know you just finished a workout. You were talking about how you did some logs, some tire. How is your CNS feeling a week and a half out from the Clash on the Coast?
Yeah. Definitely had better days for sure. So I kind of started this prep for Clash on the Coast with a little bit of a late notice because I qualified through the last qualifier, the Jersey Clash. So really only had about 4 weeks to prepare, and that was coming right from a full prep for Jersey Clash right into this one, and then throwing 10 events at me that I have to train for a week as opposed to 5 in 4 weeks. So we're pushing through, but we're staying strong right now.
All right, so you did talk about the Jersey Clash where you placed second behind
Yep.
Garrett Payne, who is actually going to be in your heat, and we'll talk
Yeah.
about that here in a bit. But
Yeah.
also, you had first place at the Long Island Strongest Man in 2022. Real
Yes.
quick, we're talking about the hero's journey, right? Because all of us got into a strength sport because our heroes were, like Hercules or a superhero from the comics, or maybe our parents, right? Who were
Mm.
into the fitness. So where does your journey begin when it comes to strength?
I would say when I was about 15, 16 years old, I was really into basketball. And lifting weights was just a way that I kind of saw to get better at basketball, to get more athletic, to jump higher, to be stronger on the court. And from an early age, kind of realized that I was pretty strong. I actually had a weightlifting coach back when I was 15, 16, and he told me, he was like, don't take this the wrong way. He's like, but I think you should quit playing basketball and just focus on lifting weights full time. And I was a little offended at the time,
Yeah,
but looking back on it now, about almost 10 years later, I was like, yeah, maybe he was right.
he was on to something.
Yeah, he was. He
How
was.
old are you right now?
I'm 24 years old.
Okay, how tall are you? Because yeah, how tall are you?
Yeah, I'm about 6'2".
Man, I guess for basketball that is short, but still.
Yeah.
I was just trying to figure out why your coach was
Yeah.
just like, "No, go into a string sport." Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, like walking around, going to school and everything, I was always like a bigger kid per se, but playing basketball, I was definitely like the shortest kid on the team. So
Um, so you are 24 years old. I did notice that on your Instagram page, in 2022, you graduated, and I
yeah.
love the caption because it was an undergrad in psychology with a focus on strongman.
Oh yeah.
Tell me a little bit of your adventures in college, and is that where you fell in love with the sport of strongman?
Yeah. So it really started around the time of COVID, to be fair.
Okay,
Once the
2020.
lockdowns, yeah,
Mhm.
around 2020. Once the lockdowns started happening, I had a friend that owned a gym and he let me borrow a bunch of weights for the time being. And that was really all I did. The whole entire quarantine was just lift weights. And through that journey, I kind of got into powerlifting a little bit. That was like where it first started. So I did about like 4 or 5 powerlifting meets. But the gym that I worked out at, the owner of the gym was into strongman at the time. And it was kind of always in the back of my mind that I probably should do strongman. I probably would be better at strongman just because I have an athletic background already coming from playing basketball. So once I kind of got bored of powerlifting a little bit, because definitely could get a little bit boring in my opinion. No offense to
It's a
anybody
little
that
repetitive, yeah.
yeah, it's a little repetitive. I just kind of hopped right into strongman, and I remember doing like a full week of training first for strongman. I was like, wow, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I really only did like basic stuff, I just did like sandbag, like some circus dumbbell, whatever. But I loved it right away, and I knew that this was for me.
Um, so since you went to school and your undergrad was in psychology,
Yeah.
what did you learn from psychology that you have to apply to one your training and how you compete? And do you think that's been an advantage over some of your competitors?
Well, I would say uh, my own psychology, and my competitive edge. I think I get that a little bit more from my father, to be honest, because he was also a very competitive athlete himself. He was a professional kickboxer, uh, and black belt in karate. So he kind of has that intensity and that like killer's mentality, and that's kind of where I got that mindset from. Just being around him, training with him a lot. Not that I don't want to say I didn't learn anything from school, but it was more just textbook stuff, like dates, this, that. So I think I get more of my experience from real life anecdotes, if that makes
Yeah, so
sense.
you learned the practical application of it from your dad, who is a professional athlete. I'm
Yeah,
just curious, did he ever just kick the air in front of you when he told you that it was time to go to sleep
yeah,
and you were trying to
yeah.
sass him back?
So he he hasn't fought in some time, and over the summer we did like a little like target practice in the backyard, and I was holding the gloves,
Yeah,
and he kicked the target, and I swear to God, through the pad, my hand was still hurt.
he's got
Uh,
that little snap, right?
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. So
Do do you have any siblings?
yes, I do. I have a sister too.
You have a sister too, older or
Yeah.
younger?
She's younger than me, and actually, she just competed in her first bodybuilding show, and she won her OCB Pro card in her first bodybuilding show ever too.
Oh, so no pressure, no pressure. Like you gotta do well at Clash now,
Yeah,
or else it's
yeah,
gonna rub
exactly.
that in.
I know. I'm the disappointment of the family.
No, no such thing. Yeah, your journey just takes a little bit longer in a growing sport.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so we're talking about this hero's journey, right? You
Yes.
talked about your origins and strength coming from high school and your coach telling you to quit basketball and just focus on strength. You talked about how during COVID, you were allowed to borrow some of the equipment to lift a lot of weights, and that's all you did during COVID. Doesn't
That was
surprise
it.
me. You don't look like a baker like a lot of people were
No,
doing during COVID,
no,
during
it's
shutdowns.
funny because everybody around that time around me was like, "Oh, I put on a lot of weight and I haven't worked out or anything." I'm like, "Really?" I kind of did the opposite during quarantine.
So we've talked about your dad being one of your mentors. What
Yeah.
other mentors or people in leadership positions have helped you in your journey in life and then in strongman?
Yeah, definitely my coaches and my influences around me. So I had a great basketball coach growing up, and he really helped mold me as well. And the guys that I work out with at my gym too, I mean, they're just the most awesome, supportive group of guys that I've ever been around. We literally just came from the gym, and it's about 30 degrees out right now. It snowed today, and they were holding down a yoke and pulling the slack out of the rope while I was pulling a truck. Like just because they know I'm getting ready. So just having positive influences and people around me that support me is really what helps me and keeps me going.
That's awesome. It's always great to have that support system, especially if the support system is like in your family with people who have kind of done something similar. And then obviously the environment that you have in the gym. What are some of the challenges you have faced in your strongman career?
Putting the weights away. That's the hardest part, bro. I swear
Oh
to God.
no.
Yeah, it's setting up the equipment and putting it back. No,
That's such an honest answer. Putting up the weights. Just oh
yeah,
yeah, I get it. Yeah.
yeah. No, in all seriousness, some of the biggest challenges I face is probably overcoming my own mental obstacles. I think through every prep, you go through ups and downs for sure, and I think a part of my journey and a part of me growing into my career is mastering my own mind and being like fully 100% self confident in myself. So when I go into the gym, I tell myself all the time, it's just me versus the weights, and that's what I'm really trying to grow on. Because you could definitely get influenced by a lot of the things you see like on social media and everything. Like, oh, this guy did this guy did that, and it's like, well, none of that matters because this is a subjective sport. You either can do it or you can't. So that's really what I try to focus on.
No, that's good. So I want to know what's been the evolution from the John that I met at Southwest Regionals last year to this one coming into Clash on the Coast March 24th through the 26th.
Yeah. Wow. A lot, a lot. After that show, I was really, really raw going into that show. I mean, that was only my second competition ever. Yeah,
That was your second competition in
yeah.
strongman ever?
Clash
Woo.
is my fifth competition ever in strongman.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm still new. I'm still learning. But I think in the span of whatever that 7 8 months it's been, I really have gone and refined my own technique. Um, but even beyond that, just becoming a better athlete, really. Um, Getting my work capacity up, building my conditioning, building my stamina. I started running. I started doing cardio, and
The way you said that, I started running.
yeah, it's true. It's true because, coming from powerlifting where you just squat, bench, deadlift all the time, you really don't put any emphasis into that at all. So I was coming off of 2 years of doing that, and then now it's like, oh, well, now I got to carry a sandbag and run back and pick something else up. And I think taking 2 years off of doing any kind of like cardio in a sense, was a negative impact, negative factor for myself. So that was really one of the biggest focus of like my off season, if you want to say, is just becoming a better athlete and getting in better shape.
Gotcha. So being more explosive,
Yeah,
having the conditioning to complement the almost like the natural strength that you've been building all these years through powerlifting and so on.
for
That's
sure.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
No, that's good. What is your kryptonite in life? And then what is your kryptonite in strongman?
Um, I would say right now the way that my life is set up, is just managing my schedule. So what I mean by that is I work as a personal trainer, and my days are kind of split up into two sections. So I have morning clients and I have afternoon clients, and sometimes I get like a 3 4 hour break in between. And I don't live particularly close to the gym, and I also have to train as well. So managing my time, prepping my meals, getting good sleep, getting recovery, all of those factors have to be like on point 100% of the time for me to perform the way that I want to perform. So managing my schedule and just being on top of everything
Yeah.
is really the biggest thing for me.
All right. So and that feeds into strongman as well.
Yeah.
Which event do you feel like it's kryptonite in strongman? Like mine is log. I hate the log. Coming
Yeah.
from an Olympic weightlifting background, it I'm used to a barbell
Yeah.
right here. When it's a log, it just
Right.
throws me completely off.
Uh, I gotta say Hercules hold, just because. Yeah, I've only ever done it once, but in the competition I did in Long Island Strongest, I it was not good. It was only like I only got like 20 seconds on it or whatever. Um, so I like to say that I'm pretty well rounded at most things. Pretty statically strong and got pretty good wind. But I just didn't like how it performed on that Hercules hold, so I'll go with Hercules hold for now.
Okay, so Hercules hold,
Yeah,
and it's a grip event.
yeah.
Is grip an issue for you in general?
No, I don't think so. I mean, Farmers is a great event for me. That's the funny thing. So I don't think it's my grip. I think it's just kind of that event in general, just getting experience. Like the one that we used in that competition. I don't know if this is for all Hercules hold, but it was a spinning handle. So you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the handle was like spinning in my hand. So a lot of the guys were hook gripping that. I didn't really pick up on that. I think if I would have hook gripped it, would have been more painful, but I probably would have got a better time.
That makes a huge difference on.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But I don't think grip is necessarily a bad event for me. I think it's actually fairly good because I got a pretty good farmer's run too. But yeah, Hercules hold for now.
All right, so we've talked about Long Island, the Long Island strongest man. You live in Long Island.
Yeah.
Now we're going to travel to Hilton Head Island, where you're
Hmm.
going to be competing at Clash on the Coast. I was looking at the heats, right? I noticed that you're going against the person you lost to at the Jersey Clash. Does
Yeah.
that fuel your training a little bit more? Is there a little bigger chip on those massive shoulders of yours to
Yeah. Of course.
really go in hot?
Of course, there is. You know, as a competitor, you always want to do your best and win. But I got to know Garrett really well over that weekend, and I love Garrett. I think he's super funny, super nice guy. So whoever is the best man that day will win. But you know, you always want to try to do your best. So of course, yeah.
Who else in your heat do you feel like you compare well to? How do you feel you compare to these guys being so new to strongman? I mean, like you said, you're only 5 competitions in.
Yeah. I think I stack up well. You know, I think so. I'll give you a little backstory. Every competition that I do, right before I leave, I get a haircut from my barber, and we make a bet. We go, if I finish on the podium, I don't have to pay for the haircut. If I don't, then I have to pay double for the haircut, right? So he asked me, he's like, why do you keep on taking these bets? And I said to myself, well, I said to him, I said, if you can't bet on yourself, then what's the point of even competing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'll always bet on myself in a humble way, but you know, I'm always going to take myself over anybody.
I'm so glad that the bet was monetary and not something like if you miss the podium, he just shaves your head or something. Woo! I was like, oh, you believe in yourself.
I'm sure he's going to watch it, so don't give him any ideas.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I'll just edit that out. So we're talking about what events are you most excited about for Clash on the Coast?
um, I think the frame deadlift is going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to that for sure. I'm looking forward to whatever it is that we have to pull. And then lastly, I'm really excited for the cake throw too. I think that's going to be really fun, and I think that doing it in the sand is going to add like a really different element too. What don't really know how that's going to play out. I'm sure you know the other guys do because they've done it before, but I'm excited for that one as well.
I mean, living on Long Island, you have some sand to work with, no?
Yeah, we do for sure. It's pretty cold down by the beach right now. It's probably like 25 degrees by the beach, but yeah, I kept saying to myself, we're gonna get down to the beach to do a throw, so we'll still get that in. See how that feels.
What's been your lowest point in your strongman career?
Easily Southwest Regionals at in Texas for sure because I was doing well. I was hanging with everybody. I was in fourth place after 3 events. I was a couple points out of third, making the podium, and then warming up for the yoke, which was the second event. I tweaked my back, um, and I pushed through it for the yoke. I held up a little bit, and then right after that was the max reps with the actual deadlift, and my lower back was just fried. So unfortunately, I had to pull out, and that was really disappointing for me because I put a lot of work into that prep, and I was in a good spot going into the next two. So that was like not a great feeling having to walk away and leave, knowing that I didn't leave it all out on the table, just because I physically wasn't capable of doing so.
Yeah, no, it's definitely humbling because and remind me which division you were competing in?
I was 105.
105? Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, you got a lot of people that are I feel like 105 is easily one of the most competitive. 105s and is it the 91 or 92? What's the next one down? But I feel
90s.
like that 90? Yeah, I feel like
90s,
those
yeah,
2 weight classes are the ones that you see like the best athletes so
for sure.
far. Nothing against the heavyweights or super heavyweights. I'm one of the
Yeah,
heavyweights as well. But I don't know why, but I feel like those have been drawing the bigger audiences.
yeah,
Um
definitely. We got to make the most out of everything, because um, we can't. I mean, it's like a cliche saying, everybody knows it, but like we can't rely on like just body weight alone. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make the most out of everything you got. And it was 231 pounds.
So you said that was your low point. How
Yeah.
did you pull yourself out of that? Like, tell me the next couple of days how you did mentally and how you kind of like pulled yourself out of that
Yeah. So
low point.
that that's actually how I found my current coach right now was through that. So I
Who is
started
your coach, by the way?
Shane Germain from
Okay,
MSP System.
cool.
The
Shout
British
out.
gotta love their accents, the British guys. Um, that's really the only reason why I'm with them is just to get
Oh
the. No,
no.
I'm kidding. Um, so actually, I went on his app. He had an app at the time, and he had like a restoration block, and I ran that for a couple weeks to help heal my back, to help fix my back, and I really just loved everything about like how he structures all the programs and everything. And a couple months later, he posted a story that he had some spots open for coaching, and I couldn't pass up the opportunity, and I got a spot with him, and it's been great ever since.
So you were first focused on recovering physically. How was the mental recovery from not doing
Um,
as well as you had been leading up to regionals and then injury and not being able to
yeah.
put your best out. How did you do mentally?
Yeah, mentally, I was definitely a little bit low for a couple days. Um, like I said, it's always disappointing when like you put in like this is my dog, by the way. Her name's Bella.
No, I love it. Dogs are always welcome.
So just when you put in so much time and effort into something, and you don't get the result you want, and even beyond that, you don't even get to really fully show everybody what you're capable of doing. It's definitely a letdown for sure. But after reflecting for a couple of days, I just said to myself, got to do two things. I got to fix my back, and then got to get back to work. So that's really how I re-upped myself, was just getting back into the gym and getting back to work.
Awesome. And then it sounds like when you signed up with Shane, that's when the upswing really started.
Yeah, for
Does that
sure.
sound
For
right?
sure. Yeah, that was great, man. That was great. I ran, so the first like block of training that I ran with him was like a 12-week like peaking block, really. And I hit some huge PRs, some really really big PRs after like training with him for 12 weeks, and then we were talking. I'm like, originally he didn't want me to sign up for any competition for like the first whatever it was, like 20 24 weeks with him. Just
Was
wanted to
that
focus with him.
because he wanted you to recover or did he just want to build a new
Yeah,
foundation?
yeah, he just wanted to build me up a little bit.
Okay.
But I mean, I really like, I had like the block of my life. I mean, I pulled, you know, some big deadlifts, hit a big log, loaded a big stone, and I was like, "So can I do Jersey Clash?" She's like, "Yeah, you're good to do Jersey."
All right, you've been hitting some PRs. You've
Yeah,
earned it. That's great. So
thank
that's a big transformation since regionals.
you. Yeah.
Um, what would be a successful competition at Clash on the Coast for you?
Um. Well, first and foremost, just building relationship with everybody. With all the guys, with you, with Tyler, with everybody running, helping it out. I think that's going to be the most important thing for me, is just getting my name out there a little bit, and building like some lifelong bonds, because I see it. I see how everybody is, with everybody in the community. Everybody is supportive of each other and pulls for each other, and I really love that. So I think that's first and foremost, and then second all, um, just kind of being new and everything. I'll be really happy if I make the finals.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, based on the first part of your answer, what are some of your favorite relationships that you've discovered and built in strongman?
So, like, I think the most cool part about strongman is like, um, I could be competing, going head to head with somebody, right? And like, I forget tacky for the stones. And like,
Yeah.
guy that's trying to beat me is like, here's some tacky. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like, I think that is just awesome. I think that's great. I think that's like so unique to the sport too. Like, you don't see that in any other sport. You know what I'm saying? So I really love like that aspect, and just like, you can watch any video. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, I'm loading the stones over in Jersey Clash, and Garrett is in the background, and he's cheering for me, and I'm trying to beat him, and he's like ecstatic when I load a stone over. I'm like, you just can't get that anywhere else.
Did that throw you off a little bit when you first started noticing it?
Yeah, for sure. So like it didn't come. I knew of that camaraderie just from watching videos and just YouTube and everything.
Yeah.
But then you go in person, you see, like, even going all the way down to a local show, it's still the same thing. It's awesome. So I want to keep that tradition going with myself.
I love that because strongman are going to talk the most amount of trash in the warm up area and everything, but
Yeah,
the second it comes to helping a fellow strongman out, either with like a lifting tip or tacky or some kind of, they're the first ones
whatever
to
it is.
jump in
Yeah,
because they
yeah.
really want to beat your best. And if your best isn't somebody with tacky, then it's
Right.
not going to feel as good. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, you always want to beat everybody at their best. That's one. And then the second thing too is I think we all can appreciate and understand like what we put into it. Like, I always kind of say like strength sports in general are like a little bit of like a lonely sport. Meaning like it's you're not on a team. Sometimes like you're training like by yourself, and like I said, you're the only one like setting up the weight, putting everything away. It's like, it's like a little bit of a lonely sport. So I think when we all kind of get together, we could all appreciate that in a little bit.
Yeah, we're kindred spirits for
Yeah,
sure. Because I also feel like we're a little off compared to like
100%.
compared to
Yeah,
the average population. Like something drives
yeah.
us to pick up a stone.
You're right,
Um,
right. You get pure enjoyment out of picking up a stone. It's like, what's wrong with you?
have you ever seen the red ones at Target?
Yeah, yes, yes. Yeah. How much you think those weigh?
You're like, can I get a discount if I can? I take it home.
Needs some
Um,
packing first, though.
yeah, yeah, those are super smooth.
Yeah,
I've actually
yeah.
tried to grab one of them. Um, so real quick, let's talk a little bit more about you. Um, so you're from Long Island. What are some stereotypes you're tired of hearing about?
Uh, just that, like, I'm a Guido and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, because anywhere I go, I got like the slick back hair. Um, I guess like a little bit of that like New York swagger. I guess maybe the accent or whatever. And I'm Italian, so I'm not tired of it. I kind of like it, to be honest. But I hear it all the time.
You're like, you kind of wear it with pride because you feel
Yeah,
like it's a good
yeah,
example of it.
exactly.
So you're Italian. Do you like to cook or do you just like to eat?
Oof. I definitely definitely like to eat more,
Yeah.
but as I've kind of gotten into like dieting and everything, I have enjoyed cooking food a little bit more than I would have thought. But right now I'm like, everything is just like such a rush and everything. I literally just throw everything in the microwave, like pre-made chicken, sweet potatoes, everything just goes in the microwave, like no thought process behind it.
Are you doing much of a weight cut for this or do you walk around at 105?
So it's funny. Normally I walk around at about like 245, a little bit closer to 250, but whenever I diet down after a show, I stay like relatively light for a decent amount of time. So I dieted down just for Jersey Clash, and I really just am now walking around at like 236, 237. So hopefully I could stay there and just have like a really, maybe just go to bed and not eat and wake up and weigh in. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
just like a solid poo, right? Because
yeah,
that poo before the weigh-in, you're like, that's at least 2 pounds.
get a little bit or something, be all right.
um, what's the last thing you read
Oh,
for
bad
fun?
question. Bad question. But I'm not a big reader. Trying to work
Okay.
on it. That's actually one of my goals this year is to finish a book. So I'm currently reading The Supple Leopard. So go figure, right?
Oh, that's such a good one.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I have that one actually.
yeah.
Do you listen to audiobooks or do you like what do you like to learn about?
Anything related to this world, anything. I mean, like I pretty much fall asleep every night to a YouTube video of some type of strength training, lifting video, like anything like related to supplements, to food, to strength training, different programs, different stories, like just this whole world I'm completely and utterly consumed by.
So if you fall asleep to YouTube videos, I'm just curious, how often have you woken up to that YouTube series where it's those two little guys with sticks just like digging the coolest little like they're
Oh,
building an underground
yeah,
pool and stuff
yeah.
like that? How many
The
times have you
Hunter
woken up
brothers.
to that?
My algorithm's not that bad.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually good. I normally wake up to like some ridiculously long, like 3 4 hour, like elite FTS podcast where I'm just like, dude, I gotta shut this off and go to bed.
You wake up and you're just spitting some knowledge that you didn't even realize you had.
The worst is like sometimes like a Larry Wheels video will come on and I just hear yelling and I'm like half asleep and just yelling and grunting. I'm like, oh my god.
um are you is your dad still around?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because I want him to hear this.
Okay.
Are you strong enough right now, or do you think you'll ever be strong enough to beat your dad?
Okay. So what does that mean exactly? Like
Like in a fight, do you
in a
think you'll
fight?
ever be able to beat your dad in a fight?
I think in a wrestling match, yeah. If I got him to the ground, if it's with hands, definitely not. Probably not.
I just picture him in the corner just going like, "Yeah, what are you gonna answer? What are you gonna answer?" Um,
Yeah,
so he's gonna be there with you, right?
yeah, yeah. He's gonna be there with me.
Um, does that give you a little boost?
Yeah, I don't think I could go without him, to be honest.
That's part of like your like traveling like
Yeah,
list, like you have to have him there.
yeah. We I mean, we go everywhere together. We do everything. So he's, we went to New Jersey twice in 1 week, and he came with me both days to train. Like we just this is our thing.
I love that. And
Yeah.
then what can you not travel without? Like what has to be in your luggage?
Uh,
I'm guessing hair product.
yeah, hair product, definitely hair products for sure. But we got plenty of extra just in case.
Okay. What else?
Um, and then, like, I would love to say my pillow,
Yeah.
but going on a plane, I can't bring a pillow with me on a plane. So last one in Jersey, I brought my pillow with me and I left it in the hotel room and really upset about that still because I haven't gotten it back.
Did you ask him to deliver it or like deliver it to you?
Dude, yeah, they didn't really get the message, so I'm just
Oh no, because you took the pillow that you can just fall asleep everywhere.
yeah, I know. So, and those hotel beds too, they're not always the greatest. So
No,
that's an essential for me.
they feel stiff too. Like
Yeah, always, always.
yeah, like you jump on there and you're like, all right, I know I'm gonna sleep, but I hate hearing all this crunch.
Oh yeah,
Especially if they do like the ones that they've done where it's like super clean with the COVID
yeah.
standards and everything. So okay. Um so my last question here is what do you want to see from yourself in the next year?
Just continue to go on the path that I'm going right now. I think I have I found something for me that I genuinely really like doing. Um, and I really just want to see what I could do and continuing to grow, not just as an athlete, but as a person through the great people that I'm going to meet, and just continue to develop myself mentally and physically.
No, that's awesome. That's a really good goal for the next year.
Thank
So we're gonna see each other at
Yes.
Clashland Coast in
Yes.
a week and a half. 12 days actually.
12
10
days.
days. Oh my gosh, we're so
Yeah.
close.
When do you get there? Wednesday or Thursday?
I'll get here on the 23rd. I'll be there on the 23rd.
Thursday. Okay. Yeah, I'll be there on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's hard to like fly in because then that way, when I fly in a little bit early, it gives me time to kind of like meet people,
Yeah.
interact with them, get
Yeah.
clarification on names. Because there's some names that I don't want to butcher. Because there's
Yeah.
one where I was talking to, was it Katie Gutswall? Okay, part is gut. She goes like just like your gut, and I was like, got it. So it just gives me, and then that way I can kind of see the weather if I need to
Yeah.
change anything,
What
just a little
what's
bit.
what's this like after party that I'm hearing about? Or like
Bro, that's what I keep hearing, and
yeah.
I don't know if I feel like it's a threat because I've heard from multiple people that they just want to get me wasted after, and I'm just like, hey man, I don't really drink.
Yeah.
uh, So, but I mean, I'll go and party it up, but I
Hell yeah.
can't hang with the alcohol. That's
Nah,
just,
nah, nah, I
unless
can't
it's
do it.
tequila. That's
Okay.
my kryptonite, man.
Hey,
Tequila.
listen, I'll keep that in the back pocket.
No, what have I done? But yeah, so yeah, there is an after party that Tyler Purdue is gonna try to avoid at all costs so he can avoid Jody. Because
Yeah,
Jody wants
yeah,
him to get drunk. And he's
yeah.
worked really hard, so I
I
totally
know.
understand him wanting to just decompress
Yeah,
after, putting a
yeah,
competition
crazy
together.
weekend, crazy week.
Um, but yeah, I'll be there the 23rd. And
Yes,
then we'll be going hot for 3 days, 24, 25, 26.
sir.
Hopefully I'll see you in the finals. I'm excited to see what you can do.
Thank you.
And then yeah, man, thank you for jumping on.
Thank you for having me, man. It was a pleasure.
Where can people reach out to you?
You can find me on Instagram. My Instagram is Johnny Alimo _.
Awesome. And I'll put that in subtitles here when I release it.
Sure.
Awesome. Anything else you want to plug in?
No, just really thankful to be on here. Really excited for the opportunity to compete at Clash, to be with all these amazing athletes, and just really grateful, really thankful.
Yeah, again, thank you so much. We're going to call it right there.
Cool.
Everybody, check him out on the 24th, 25th, and 26th. It will be on ESPN, and I will put the link in the description where you can pay $7.99 to catch the 3-day live stream for the competition. Thank you for joining me. Y'all take care.
Have a good one.